Good morning, Year 6. This is your very last maths lesson of the half term. Tomorrow is our re-day, which you might have seen on the timetable already. But anyway, for now, let's crack on with your space learning and then put your result down on the form for your teacher to have a little notes at. Off you go. So can I prove or disprove a theory? This one's super exciting. You're going to love this investigation. So essentially, you are looking at someone's hypothesis, a statement that they've said, and you need to look at it, understand it, evaluate it, test it, to find whether or not the theory is in fact true or false. And the context for our investigation is the Vitruvian man. Okay, you ready for this? I hope you're looking at his head and his curly head of hair and, you know, nothing else, Year 6. Let me move my face out of the way. So we have Leonardo da Vinci was a scientist and an artist and one of the greatest painters of the Italian Renaissance. Very accomplished man. He left only a handful of completed paintings, one of which is the Mona Lisa. He was so secretive that he wrote backwards to disguise his ideas. Was he mad? Was he crazy? Was he both? I don't know. In 1492, Leonardo drew a picture of a man, Exhibit A, standing inside a circle and a square. This is known as the Vitruvian man. It was a study of the proportions of the human body as described by Vitruvius, a Roman architect from the 1st century BC, based on his observations of European people in his day. Remember, that is back in 1492. So Leonardo believes that arm span, so from here to here, was equal to height from foot to head in a perfectly proportioned body. So, in the purple section, do you think the Vitruvian theory illustrated by Leonardo would work today and is true for British students in BG? Okay. So let's take a look at the man's proportions. So apparently the maximum width of the shoulders is a quarter of a man's height. A foot, as in bodily foot, is the width of 4 palms. The length of the hand is 1/10 of a person's height, and the length of the face is 1/8 of a person's height. Okay, so you might want to come back to that as a reference point later. So before we begin, what is your prediction? Do you think it's true or false, or why? Pause the video and reflect on what you think the answer might be. Okay, so now we are in the testing point and you are going to investigate and test your theory, not your theory, Leonardo's theory. So we need to think about how much evidence we'll need to prove or disprove this theory. And we're going to think about how we collect and present the evidence as well. So the first thing you guys will need to do is measure your height, your arm span, and then find the difference between the height and the arm span of yourselves. So you might need to get someone to measure you. We would like all the unit of measurement to be in centimetres for when you input your data into your Google form. Okay. Once you've done that, you will be moving on to this. Now, this is probably the main section of your lesson. So we have given you some Vitruvian statements, okay? And I've presented this as a table, but for you guys, you're going to see each question as Google form. And you need to work out the measurements of the Vitruvian man. So you're going to need to measure yourself in centimetres. You're going to need to work out your calculation and then write true or false, depending on what your findings are. So for instance, the length of a man's outspread arms, so from here to here, is equal to his height. All right. So you'll put the measurements in, you'll write your calculation, and then if it's true or false. And you'll just kind of work your way through the, how many have we got? 2, 4, 6, 7 statements to find out. And then we will maybe post another video with the whole year group's results and findings another day. So anyway, that is it, guys. We hope you enjoy it and get stuck in, and we really look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Enjoy.